Well, howdy there, nerds. So I'm just going to say this and apologize in advance because this is going to be a bit jank, but, well, 4.4 is now available from your storefront page, be it iTunes or Google Play, but unfortunately what you're looking at right now is a live feed from my tablet where it is frozen over. It won't turn off, it's been stuck like this for an hour, so I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to unbuckle the back and take out the battery and restore it to factory default. That's going to be a fun evening, let me tell you, but still... well, let's take a look at new characters, new stats, new weapons, their refines, and of course that new free unit that you're going to be getting, but I do warn you this is going to be a bit jank, and I apologize for that, but, well, I wanted to just talk about it, and I kind of like being jank, honestly. That's what the kids say these days when it's cool, right? Either way, let's take a look at Erica, and I'm talking about Cavalier Tome Erica, who had, Glipnir. She's technically a free unit. You did get her at least from Heroic Deeds, I forget what exactly that system's called, but either way, the one that you get for the new player experience, and wouldn't you know it, Glipnir also got a refine this go around that synergizes fairly well with her effects, and, well, at the start of combat, if foe's HP is, equal to 100%, it will inflict -4 to all stats on foe and neutralize units' penalties during combat. So therefore, she won't have to deal with any penalties, and she will hit a bit harder and hopefully double as well. Who knows? But pretty strong upgrade, at least for her. If you're a fan of Erica, or at least want to make a decent, red tome unit on a horse, this might not be a bad idea. That's kind of be what's going on here, at least when it comes to these weapons, is that you might think of them as a little bit of middle of the road, but still, this is just where we are right now. Still, not a bad upgrade. Should be fun to try, just try out as you go along. Let's talk about Gaius, though, our candy man, who finally gets a weapon that is a candy. And it's a candy dagger. So this one's actually pretty interesting. So, if unit initiates combat, it will grant +4 speed, and boost damage by 10% of unit speed during combat, which, if I'm doing my math correctly, and I can actually remember Gaius's base stats, that's about 40 speed. Because I believe he has 36 when he initially starts, so not too shabby, honestly. An additional boost to attack is always welcome. Debatable how crazy it will go with, but hey, we still have to talk about the refine as well. So, at the start of combat, if foe's HP equals 100%, it will deal +7 damage. I'm assuming that's just a straight +7 damage, so already another big benefit. And when a special triggers before combat, I'm thinking something like AoEs, stuff like that, and if foe's HP is 100%, it will deal an additional +7 damage before combat. So therefore, think Razzle Dazzle with a little bit more razzle. And a lot less dazzle, and honestly a lot more candy. I'm very hungry right now, but still, this one seems like the most fun when it comes to weapons, just because of its unique effects that it has. I mean, the additional boost from speed and all this other fun stuff could be kind of cool to see with, what you can actually do with Gaius, but I don't really know if it's really going to, cause a huge panic with what it has. Still, it works to his strengths, and it has that benefit, so there you go for Gaius fans out there. Just make sure not to get cavities, okay? Speaking of Horse Emblem, by the way, here's a unit that I never thought I would actually be talking about again, at least when it comes to that. Ursula. Ursula finally got her own Blue Crow Tome. Blue Crow Tome. And that is, well, it's decent enough. It's effective against Cavalier foes, which, you're on a horse. That's kind of rude, considering. It's not very nice to the other Cavalier, units out there. But oh well. Included with this, when you refine it, though, it will grant bonus damage, or at least bonus to the unit's attack, equal to the total penalties on the foe during combat. So think, a Blade Tome, which a lot of people probably still use, at least when it comes to Horse Emblem and a lot of these other things out here. I know several people still do, but, outside of maybe Aetherites, but still, decent enough upgrade. It will allow her to do more damage as long as the enemy is debuffed, which, considering the current, state of the game, there are a lot of debuffs that you can just throw out willy-nilly, and it can definitely benefit her, but it's still, at least to me, middle of the road when it comes to a lot of this. Ursula's still kind of one of my favorites when it comes to units that I used to really enjoy with Horse Emblem, so I kind of want to bust her out again and try out this tome, but I'm not really sure if I will. Do tell me if any of you guys are actually going to use any of these weapons. Now, Gunter is our next unit, and Gunter actually got a pretty fun weapon too. Again, this is kind of the whole thematics of this. Thematics of the whole thing. So, his axe actually has a pretty fun effect, at least when it comes to debuffs. At the start of turn, if a unit's HP is greater than or equal to 50%, it will inflict attack and defense -5 on foe on the enemy team with the lowest speed through its next action. So therefore, a base debuff for the fastest unit on the opposite team, meaning that their attack and their defenses will be lowered, which, built into a weapon, that's not too shabby, honestly. That's actually pretty cool to have. And then, of course, when you upgrade it, it will also grant attack and defense +4 to infantry and cavalier allies within 2 spaces. And if they happen to be, with him, or if he's nearby with them, it will give him the same effect during battle. So therefore, attack and defense +4 to both his allies, who are infantry and cavalry, and, of course, himself if they are near him. So all of that, of course, is during combat. Not a bad upgrade. Probably one of the more interesting ones. And I mostly say this because when it comes to these characters, it's really hard to say, because we're touching, mostly Generation 1 units here, and it's really gonna be a steep climb for a lot of them to actually come up. But still, if you are fans of these, I don't think you can really go wrong with some of these weapons. They're pretty sizable for upgrades, at least, to make them a little bit more manageable when you actually use them in, any sort of content. So, hey, if you actually do end up using any of these weapons, I would love to hear it, and I would love to see what you got under the hood. So, let's continue on with character stats, shall we? And that, of course, comes up to our new units, and all of their stats, as well as their buffs, boons, and, super boons, all that fun stuff. So, let's go down the list, and let me just say, Rinka, I didn't expect to have that much speed, but god damn it all, she does. Not only that, but 39 speed is pretty sizable for her. I thought she would be a bit slower. With 41 defense, that's outrageous, but then you add to the fact that both of those stats also get super boons, meaning that they can go up even further. And that is just terrifying, and honestly, yeah, she's going to be a strong one. She does have a Super Bane in HP, as well as a Super Bane in Res, where unfortunately her Res is pitiful at 18. So, she's going to be absolutely crushed by mages, and that is just terrifying in so many ways, at least. Gotta have some weakness somewhere, and considering the fact that her, A skill didn't really affect mages, I kind of saw that coming, I'm sure a lot of us did. But, hey, that's the way the cookie crumbles. Next up, let's go to Midori, and let me just say, 41 attack, holy crap! Then, of course, you add to the fact that it also gets a super boon. It's just gonna be terrifying as it is. I was also expecting her to have pitiful speed. Pitiful, but 30 is not bad. It's just kind of average, which, will stop some of the slower targets from doubling her, I guess, but still, 30, not too bad. 34 defense, though, that's pretty high, honestly, for an archer such as herself. And she already comes with close counter, or close foil, I'm sorry. But, yeah, she's going to have even more when you think about that. Then, of course, also, as a reminder, her weapon just innately gives her even more attack anyways. She's going to be doing ludicrous amounts of things. The only problem, of course, is that, she only has 21 res, but that super boon in attack is just insane. Lilith! Now, Lilith is a character that I was wondering how she was going to be when it came to stats, and, well, wouldn't you know it, she has some pretty outrageous ones, at least. She has 41 speed, and, 36 attack is not bad by any means. And you need to remind yourself that as long as she has a support partner, she will be able to teleport around, have additional benefits, and just be absolutely insane with her stat line. So, yeah, the only things I would say, at least when it comes to avoiding what, stats to go for, Super Banes in speed and defense are a little bit hectic and just kind of a little bit hard, at least. I would avoid, of course, speed. Defense, maybe not too big of a deal, but still, you just want to avoid those two, honestly. Attack, Super Boon, though, pretty nice. In case you didn't notice, they've been handing out attack Super Boons like candy lately. Alright, so let's move on to the boy, Forrest. Unfortunately for Forrest, since he is, of course, a Cavalier healer, this has pretty much doomed him to the fate that I'm pretty sure a lot of us already knew that was going to happen, in that he does not really have that great of stats. He has 32 attack, which is not terrible, but just not very strong. And, of course, 26 speed is not going to really push him very far, even with a super boon in that. That means that he gets to about 30, which, again, average at best. Still not too crazy, but not really going to pull him through. The only real benefit that he has here is that his res is actually quite high, meaning that he can make excellent use out of that ploy ability, and is mostly a character that you might want to build if you really like Forrest, I would say. Someone you would really want to go for. So, there are your stats. Do tell me what you think when it comes to your characters. Are you happy to see them as strong as they are, or are you a little bit upset with everything there? Do tell. Now, let's talk about Iago. Now, Iago, I'm gonna have to figure out a way to fit more room into the actual weapons description, because they're really pushing it very, very hard lately. I'm gonna have to elongate that and actually make it a little bit easier to read, but I will just explain what this does, okay? So Iago's tome, it gives him +3 res. I know, that's the best part. No, so he actually has a 2-turned proc ability, somewhat similar to, say, Aversa, if you're used to that, but at the start of odd number terms, if a foe's HP is less than or equal to unit's HP -3, and that foe is not adjacent to another foe, it will inflict attack and speed -4, as well as guard on that foe. Then, at the start of even-numbered turns, it will also use the same sort of, math for that, HP -3, blah-de-blah-de-blah, but this time, if the foe is adjacent to another foe, it will inflict defense and res -4 and panic on that foe. So, think Aversa, but, 2-pronged assault this time around. Now, just imagine Iago and Aversa together on the field, and you pretty much have what I like to call cancer. So, that's great. That's fantastic. I'm sure Aether Raids are going to be so much more fun with him around. Then, of course, we have his special, which is Blazing Wind, AoE. Okay. His A skill, which is actually 4-star, is HP and attack 2. Not a bad benefit. Some people can really make some excellent usage out of that, especially if, hey, maybe Forrest can use that. Just throwing it out there, since, staff units, all that fun stuff. But the one thing that's really quite surprising out of this is that in his C skill, he actually has attack opening 3, which, pretty cool. Good skill, at least, that you might want to pop on someone else if you do decide to use it. Or maybe use it on him. Who knows? But Iago seems to be a fun GHB and not exactly what I was expecting. And when it comes to his stats as well, he has 38 attack, which is not bad at all. 27 speed is a little bit, though. It's a little bit hard to, kind of go, but still, when you add in all sorts of other Grail projects out there, Iago does not seem to be that bad of a project, given, how much merge you can actually add to him. All in all, he will be a pretty fun Red Tome unit. Just think Aversa, but on steroids and walking instead of flying, and you get the basic benefits there. Also, has 32 res, so you could perhaps, I don't know, kill Forrest and give him, I'm just kidding, but still, decent enough GHB unit. Not another Canis or anything like that, which is what I was fearing. Still, good stuff there. Pretty fun, and I think Iago will be a fun one, if not definite cancer when it comes to Aether Raids, but hey, that's life. Alright guys, that is your update for 4.4. Do tell me what you think in the comments below. I'm sorry that this was so jank, but hey, that's how it is. And yes, by the way, for those who are asking, I did recently lose 100,000. Unfortunately, it's just because, I haven't been able to maintain things, guys. I really do apologize for that. But hey, you know what? If you did enjoy this video, leave a like, and hey, maybe help us get back up to 100k? I don't know. Either way, I'll see you all very soon. Thanks so much for watching. I love you all very much. Bye-bye.